evidence is a bit that most people miss, and they're generally cleared off before you do it, but everything has to be backfilled. And as you can see, part of the way through this one's the trickiest, because we've got so many different slopes going either way. It's tricky to get all the levels matched up and all the turfs back on. But I've got 2 of them back in at the moment, and I'm just about to jump back in the machine and carry on with this. So I reckon I've got most of the day before I even get back to trench 6, which I was working on yesterday.
So, it's our last day.
Time to face the final curtain.
Are you going to start singing now?
No, no, we did it their way, not our way, so it's all good.
So, how do you think the 2 weeks went then?
Phenomenally. 2 weeks, it feels like half a year.
It really does.
You know? God, we've accomplished so much. Much more than we thought when we first set out. And found out so much as well. I mean, look, Area 7, and it all started to come up with the finds down there in Trench 7, just on those last 2 days, pretty much as you could script any excavation.
It was almost like a perfect trench, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Where you started off with lots of kind of post-med demolition.
Sure.
And then all of a sudden all these medieval goodies kept coming out, didn't they?
Yeah, absolutely, and a great one to train on as well, because you got the significantly more important layers as you went down, so everyone could get the real eye in on those later, early modern layers, and then slowly but surely they got to the really important monastic layer right at the bottom. So absolutely phenomenal trench.
My favourite part of that trench has to be one of the locals coming around yesterday and actually saying that the dog that was buried in your trench was none other than Black Shuck, the local legend.
That's pretty, well, I don't know if Fergus has heard that story yet, but I think he thinks of himself as a local legend. Certainly does at the moment anyway. And yeah, well, there you go, that was a big coup. But not, in my opinion, as much as a coup as finding the crop mark in the eastern fields.
That was pretty amazing.
Absolutely. Flying kites, who'd have thought it'd be so much fun and academically rewarding as well.
I think that you were just playing with boys' toys myself.
Yeah. Okay. I have to admit, there weren't many girls around at that moment. But
there's lots of testosterone flying around.
Absolutely.
Lots of grunting.
Really?
Yeah, a little bit.
Good stuff.
Well, my favourite obviously has to be Trench 1, because who knew? Who knew that we were going to find prehistoric? I think that was pretty amazing. I think even English Heritage was surprised.
Absolutely. I mean, we aimed to set out, you know, the early story of the site and thought we'd push those boundaries at least a couple of 100 years, a couple of 1,000. That was a bit of a turn up for the books.
Yeah, absolutely. And who can forget our car park trench?
Car park trench. Good one, good one. No king, unfortunately. But, you know, that doesn't mean that it wasn't a good trench.
It's another one of those strange buildings, isn't it?
Yes, yes. Well, we had some good conversations with Helen Geek, who came round, and she set us onto a couple of potential parallels there. So as a process of this 2 weeks, we have to now go away and assess all our finds and write this up into a report. And what we will be doing is looking for analogies for that structure, both locally and nationwide, so that we can really start to understand what it was that was going on there. But certainly later, certainly late post-med farming building, that horseshoe, I think, is the smoking gun. Yes. And
obviously, last but not least, the moat trench, which who knew would be that big?
Huge.
It's even bigger than the trench that Kerry actually dug.
Absolutely. And although we didn't get to the base, what we did demonstrate was that the scale of that feature was certainly in keeping with a moated medieval manor site. And that's another thing, which means that we have research questions that should be addressed in the future. So hopefully we'll be able to come back and have another go and see if we can get that evidence.
Well, I've got to have a bit of a moment to reflect about the venturers that came through. And I
Great bunch.
just thought that they did wonderfully. They were absolutely amazing, and they just got it. Personally, Kerry and I would like to think it was because of the teaching.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Facilitation.
But they were such an amazing group of people, fascinating individuals from all over the world, just coming to, you know, the middle of a field in Leiston and just kind of hanging out and learning how to dig.
Absolutely. What really struck me is that we have people from, you know, 2 miles down the road, and people who'd come all the way from New Zealand, and they all shared the same passion. It was the same story, backstory, just separated from the other side of the world. It didn't really matter. Everyone had come here to do the same thing. It's really, really humbling, and we had such a great team.
Great team. I'm a little bit sad now because obviously people have started to leave.
Yes.
But also really happy because I know that people want to come back.
There we go, as we do. There we go.
Right. Shall we have a kip in the sun then?
Kip in the sun. No, there's records to do. Trenches to backfill. It's not time to finish yet.
I'm joking.
Good stuff. Let's head.